Welcome to today's episode of Tech Talk, where we dive deep into innovative tools designed to bolster your cybersecurity. I'm your host, and I'm really excited about today's topic. We're diving into a fascinating piece of software called Portspoof and how it can turn the tables on attackers trying to probe your system. So let's begin by painting the picture. Imagine a fortress, a digital fortress, if you will. In our interconnected world, as we build these fortresses online, we need techniques to protect them from sneaky intruders. Enter Portspoof. Portspoof's main goal is to enhance the security of your operating system through some pretty advanced tactics. Here's the kicker. All 65,535 TCP ports are always open. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But here's the genius behind it. Instead of revealing whether a port is actually closed or filtered, Portspoof tricks attackers into thinking all ports are wide open by returning a SYN-ACK response for every connection attempt. This makes traditional stealth scanning methods like SYN scans pretty much useless. Let's unpack that with a little analogy. Think of Portspoof as a chameleon at a party. No matter what you ask the chameleon, it changes color to blend in perfectly, never revealing its true identity. This makes it incredibly hard for an attacker to figure out what's genuinely going on inside your system. So, why wouldn't they just poke around? Well, that's just it. It takes a whole lot of time and resources just to figure out whether they're dealing with a real service or a fake one. Now, Portspoof doesn't just stop at making ports seem open. It has an extensive database of service signatures, meaning it can provide realistic responses to service scans. If an attacker tries to gauge what services are running on an open port, Portspoof gives them a carefully curated, yet entirely fake banner. So instead of finding your actual services, they end up getting delicious red herrings. It's a bit like ordering a pizza and getting a gourmet meal instead. Confusing, right? And if you're thinking this is just another clunky software that requires extensive setup, you'll be pleased to hear it's lightweight, with marginal CPU and memory usage, no root privileges required, and customizable via IP tables rules. It's like having a high-tech security guard that easily blends into your system without hogging all the resources. Now let's pause for a moment. What does this mean in practical terms? Essentially, Portspoof makes the reconnaissance phase of attacks a real pain for potential intruders. They might spend hours, even days, trying to decipher the landscape of your network, wasting their efforts on a maze of decoys. That's a real game changer in the cybersecurity arena. But what's fascinating about Portspoof is its dual nature. It serves not only as a strong defense mechanism, but can transform your system into an offensive player as well. Think about it. It can work as an exploitation framework front end, turning the tables and exploiting your attacker's own tools against them. So not only are you defending yourself, but you might just catch them in their own trap. As we wrap this discussion up, Portspoof showcases just one way we can outsmart those who try to outsmart us. It's an innovative tool that raises the stakes in the game of digital cat and mouse. So here's a thought to leave you with. In a world where perseverance and patience are the keys to mastering cybersecurity, how prepared are you to protect your digital fortress? That's something worth pondering as we continue navigating the ever-evolving landscape of technology. Thank you for tuning in to Tech Talk. Until next time, stay secure and curious.